Yeah, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching or whenever you are watching this video. Okay, so yeah, my name is Learning Stats, okay, and I am a graduate of the University of Ibadan, Department of Statistics, and I am the CEO of Learning Stats Tutorial. So I just want to do I just want to show you guys something under your measure of partition, and it is like a magic. I think I said something on the WhatsApp platform, yeah, for 2025-2026 session that I have a formula, just one formula that when I like you can use it to solve any question under measure of partition, any question under measure of partition. I know many people, some people might be doubting it, but let's see if it is true or or not. But at the same time, I'm not trying to show you guys something. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just trying to like make sure you learn something. You understand what I'm saying? So that's that. Now, let's quickly talk about your measure of partition. I will not really explain the topic per se. Now, under your measure of partition, we talk about quantiles, right? That was where we started from, quantiles. And we said quantiles are natural extension. Quantiles are the natural extension of your median. Natural extension of your median. So, example of the quantiles we have are, we have your quartile, we have your quartile, we have your decile, and we have your what? Percentile. All these guys are your quantiles, and we said they are natural extension of what? Of the median. Okay. Now, let me so everybody knows that the quartile is three line that divides the normal distribution or the symmetric distribution into four equal parts. So we have something like this. Let's say this is our normal distribution. Pardon my drawing. So we have this guy, this guy, and this guy. So this is what your quartile looks like. Your quartile is three line 1, line 2, line 3, that divides the normal distribution into four equal parts. So this is your first quartile, this is your what? Second quartile, and this is your what? Third quartile. So likewise, your decile is 9 lines that divides the normal distribution into 10 equal parts. So for your decile, we have something like this. We have this normal distribution. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So your decile is what? 9 lines that divide the normal distribution into what? Into 10 equal parts. So this is your decile 1, decile 2, second decile, this is your third decile, your fourth decile, the fifth decile, sixth decile, seventh decile, eighth decile, and the last one is your ninth decile. So your decile is 9 lines that divide the normal distribution into what? 10 equal parts. Now, you know, in secondary school we did what we call decagon. Now, your decagon is what? A polygon with what? 10 sides, abi. So that is your decagon. So the decile is 9 lines, not 10 lines. 9 lines, but they divide the normal distribution into 10 equal parts. So that 10 equal parts is where it got the name from, decile. So your percentile is what? Your percentile is 99 lines that divide the normal distribution into 100 equal parts. So because of it is 99 line, I cannot draw the whole 99. So you just draw a normal distribution, then you do 99 line. So you see that the 99 line partitions the normal distribution into 100 equal parts. Okay, so your quartile is 3 line, but it's dividing the normal distribution into 4 equal parts. Your decile is 9 lines, but it divides the normal distribution or symmetric distribution into 10 equal parts. And I said that your percentile is 99 lines that divides the normal distribution into what? 100 equal parts. Now, this is where I am going to today. This is exactly where I am going to. And in a few minutes, I'll be there. Okay? Now, if you notice, there was something I said when I was teaching mean median mode on the Telegram platform. I said that, see, the formula for your median, I said that if you know the formula for your median, that formula for median is an arc to be able to calculate any measure of partition. Because, okay, yes, that median formula is an arc to calculate any measure of partition, and I'll prove it to you. Now look at it. Your median is equal to, the formula for your median, for those that remember very well, is L0 plus what? Plus n over 2 minus cf over f times c. And I defined all these parameters that day. I said your L0 is your lower class boundary. Your L0 is your lower class limit or boundary of the median class, right? Median class. Your n is what? Your n is sum of all frequencies. Your cf is cumulative frequency before the median class, right? Now your f is frequency of the median class. Then your c is your class size or class width, anyone. So, and I said that this class size or class width is upper class boundary minus what? Lower class boundary. Or you can also say upper class limit minus what? Lower class limit. Upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. Or you can say upper class limit minus lower class limit. Now, let me explain something very, very vital. Let me say something that is very, very vital. If you know that, yeah, I said your L0 is lower class limit or lower class boundary of the median class. Now, if you are working with class limits, make sure that your class size is upper class limits minus lower class limits. But if you are working with class boundary, if this your L0, if you use class boundary for it, make sure that your class size is upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. Okay? Let me repeat that one more time. I want to make this video very, very brief. Okay? But let me just repeat it for the sake of understanding, and it will be on the wall of your mind. I said that your L0, it can be your lower class limit or lower class boundary. You can pick anyone to use. You can pick anyone. If you use lower class limit for L0, make sure that your class size is upper class limit minus lower class limit. But your L0, if you use lower class boundary for it, make sure that your class size is what? Upper class boundary minus lower class boundary. So that's just that about that. Now, if you notice that your median is your Q2, if you don't know, please know this, that your median is your Q2. So anytime they tell you that calculate median, calculate your second quartile. Your second quartile is your Q2. Now let me show you. Look at it here. Look at the normal distribution. Look at your Q2 here. Remember I told you that for a symmetric distribution, I've always said this, that for a symmetric distribution, your mean, median, mode, they all lie at the center. So your median is here. which is your Q2. So your Q2 is your median. If you notice too, this center for the decile, this center is your what? Your D5. Your D5. That's the center. That's the center. So meaning that your median is your Q2 and your median is also your what? D5. So what am I trying to say? So this your median is your Q2. Your median, if you look at this here, is your D5 because your D5 is that line that is at the middle. It is that line that is what? That is at the middle. Yeah. It is that line that is at the middle. So in case they tell you calculate your D5 is still the same as your what? Your median. Now, how do I bring up this arc? How do I bring up this arc? So this is your formula for what? For the median. This is your formula for calculating median. Now let me drop another formula for the median. This was how they got the formula for the median. Now remember that I said your median is your what? Your median is your median is your Q2, right? Your median is your Q2. Now, one thing you have to know, this is the formula. L naught, let's take this general formula. L naught equal to 2n over 4 minus Cf over f times C. This is the general formula for this is the general formula that I want to give you for all measure of partition. This is the general formula. This is the general formula. For any measure of partition that you're calculating, this is the formula. It is your L naught plus Kn over T minus Cf over F times C. This is the general formula. L naught plus Kn over T minus Cf over F times C. This is the general formula. So you can use this formula to calculate this formula that I drop here. You can use it to calculate any measure of partition. Anyone, whether 75th percentile, 23rd percentile, 7th decile, 3rd quartile, anyone, just use this formula. Just use this formula to what? To calculate it. This is the formula. L naught plus Kn over T minus Cf over F times C. Now let me explain my parameter. So your L naught in this case, your L naught is what? Your L naught is lower class limit or boundary of the, now we will not call it median class, we will call it the general name of the, let's call it of the quantile class. Let me put it like that, of the quantile class. Of the quantile class. So that your quantile can be of the quartile class, of the decile class, of the percentile class. So now this your K, your K is the position of the quantile class. So it can be the position of the quartile class. The quantile is just the general name. It can be the position of the quantile class, position of the decile class, position of the percentile class. Your n is sum of frequency. That's your summation f. Your n is summation f, sum of frequency. That's your n. Your f is frequency of the quantile class. Frequency of the quantile class. Then your C is what? Class size. And I've explained class size. The upper class boundary minus lower class boundary, or upper class limit of, or lower minus lower class limit. Class size or class width of the quantile of the quantile class. Okay, so now what am I trying to say? Let me explain my parameter. I said L0 is lower class limit of the quantile class. K is the position of the quantile class. Now here is the arc. If they tell you, listen, if they tell you that okay, calculate, if they tell you that calculate, they give you a group data frequency, they give you the frequency distribution table, they give you a group data, and they say calculate the third quartile. That third is representing the position of that quantile. First thing first, if they say, let me explain like this. If they say calculate the third quartile, this third is representing what? The position. So your K is 3 in this case, and this quartile is representing the type of quantile that you are talking about. Quantile. Okay, your third is representing position, that's 3, and your quantile is representing your quartile is representing the type of quantile you are talking about. Okay, so if I want to do this one will be, so my K is what? 3. My K is 3 because of I'm talking about the position of the quartile class. Then your T, remember I gave you the general formula to be what? N0 plus Kn over T. So your T will be 4 because your quartile is dividing the normal distribution into 4 parts. Let me give you another example. If they say calculate 75th percentile, your 75th is representing what? The position, Abi. Then your percentile is representing what? The kind of quantile you are talking about. Okay, now it means that your K, in this case, your K will be what? 75, and your T will be what? Your percentile is dividing the normal distribution into how many parts? Into 100 parts. Let me give you one more example. If they say okay, calculate your 7th decile. Calculate your 7th decile. This 7 is representing what? 7 is representing what? The position. And your decile is representing what? The type of quantile you are talking about. So your K in this case will be what? 7, and your T will be what? Your decile divides the normal distribution into how many parts? Into 10 parts. So this is just the arc that you have to know. This is just the arc you have to know. I will give you one question and I'll use it to solve three different type of quantile questions. So 7th decile, your K is 7, your T will be 10 because the decile is dividing normal distribution into 10 equal parts. If I say third quartile, your K will be 3. It is taking the position. Then that K is the position. Then your T will be 4 because quartile is dividing into how many parts? 4 parts. So you can see that is just the arc. Now let me give you a question and I'll use that question to explain. Let's say we have okay, let me just use this part of the book. Let's say we have a table like this. Let's say we have a table like this. Oh, okay, that's too big. Okay, no problems. See, this is class interval. This is my frequency. So let's say this is 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25, 26 to 30, 31 to 35, okay, 36 to 40, 41 to 45, and what? 46 to 50. Now your frequency, let's take 23, 5 to 3, 6, 7. Now, let's say they give you a question like this in your test or your exam. They now say, okay, calculate your Q, let's say your Q1. Let's say calculate your Q1. No, let's start with Q2. There's something I'm going to. Q2, calculate your Q2, calculate your Q1, calculate your D4, calculate your D4, calculate your, calculate your D5 and calculate your D5 and calculate your P, let's say P75. Is that not too much? Let's say calculate your P50. Let's take this one, P50. Calculate your Q2, Q1, D5, P50. Let's take this table. So your Q2 is what? Your Q2 is your second quartile. Your Q1 is first quartile. Your D5 is fifth decile. Your P50 is 50th percentile. Now, let's start with this Q2. Now, whenever you want to calculate something like this, the first step is to get your cumulative frequency. That is what you should always do first. Get your cumulative frequency. Okay? Get your cumulative frequency. That's the first thing to always do. Now, let's get my cumulative frequency. Remember, my cumulative frequency is sum of all frequencies, right? So I have 20, I have 23. 23 plus 5. The first cumulative frequency is always equivalent, is always equal, is always the same as the first frequency. So your first cumulative frequency will still be 20. 20 plus 3, 23. 23 plus 5, 20. 28 plus 2, we have 30. Plus 3, we have what? 33. Plus 6, 33 plus 3, we have what? 39. Plus this one, we have 43. Plus 7, we have what? 50. Okay? Now, I've gotten my cumulative frequency. So, I want to get my Q2. The first thing to do, you know that your Q2, I've told you that your Q2 is what? Median. So, you know that the normal way we find median class now, the normal way we find median class is, we know that if you want to calculate median under your measure of location, the way they taught us to calculate median is you first get the median class. So you say what? N over 2. Actually, it is not N over 2. It is the same thing, but it is actually 2N over 4. 2N over 4. So you are using it to look for the second quartile class. 2N. For example, if I want to look for third quartile class will be what? 3N over 4. This 3 is representing what? The position, third. Then this 4 is that quartile is dividing the normal distribution into four equal parts. If it's that they say I should look for Q1, my Q1 class will be what? 1N over 4. Q1 is first quartile. So that first is taking position 1. Okay? So the general formula that I gave you is what? Kn over T. This is the general formula. Kn over what? Kn over T. So that K is representing the position. That T is representing the type of quantile we are talking about. So for example, if they say I should calculate D7, your D7 is what? 7N over 10. Because this 7, look at it, Kn over T, 7N over 10. Your 7 is representing your K. Your 7 is representing your K, and your T is representing your 10. Your 7 is representing your K, your T is representing your 10. That's 7N over what? 7N over 10. That's your 7th decile. 7 is representing the position. Why? Your 10 is because of decile divides the normal distribution into 10 equal parts. If they say find 25th percentile, that's P25. That'll be what? 25N over 100. So you can see that every of them, they are connected. They just have a general system. That would be what? 25N over. So your 25th percentile, that 25 is representing the position. then that percentile which we are taking as 100 is because of your percentile divides the normal distribution into 100 parts. Now let me come back to my question. Let's forget about this. So the first question here is calculate the what? Q2. Remember the general formula is Kn over T. So in this case, your K is representing the position, right? That's second quartile. So your second will be 2, right? 2n over your T is representing the type of quantile you are talking about. And what type of quantile are we talking about? We are talking about the quartile, which divides the symmetric or normal distribution into 4 equal parts. So my 2 will be what? 4. So you can see that it's not hard. And that is why if you now divide this, you will now get what? N over 2. So this was how they now got that N over 2 that usually used to get the median class, because your Q2 is your median. So now let's do this. So what is my N? Remember I said it here that my N is what? My N is the sum of all frequencies. So if I add up all my frequency here, I will get the last cumulative frequency, which is what? 50 over 2. And that's what? 25th. So this 25th is my second quartile class. So it is this 25th that will determine the second quartile class. Your 25th is determining the second quartile class. Okay, so that 25th is a position. Your 25th is your 25th is a position, like 25th position. Okay, so now this 25, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 25, that is this position, this 25th position. I'm going to use it to compare the cumulative frequency. Yes, I'm going to use this 25th to compare the cumulative frequency. Now let's do it together. If we go through this cumulative frequency, remember our second quartile class is what? The 25th position. Now let's go to our cumulative frequency. Where can we find 25? Or where can we find the 25th position? Where can we find the 25th position? That will be what? If you look at the cumulative frequency, you will notice that the 25th position, 25 is in between what? This is 25th. Your 25 is in between 23 and what? 28. Your 25 is in between what? 23 and what? 28. Is between 23 and 28. So now, since your second quartile class, which is the 25th position, is in between the second class and the third class, so I've always said it that you are picking the class that is ahead. So I'm going to be picking this third class. Remember, this is class 1, class 2, class 3. I'm going to be picking class 3 as my second quartile class. So 25th position, which is my second quartile class, falls in between 23 and 28. But I cannot go back to pick class 2. No, I'm always picking the class ahead. So I'm going to pick this third class as my what? As my second quartile class, because I'm picking the one ahead. Now let's solve. Let's bring out our parameters. Remember the formula for my Q2. For my Q2 will be what? N0 plus what? 2n over 4. Remember, this is the general formula that I gave you. L0 plus Kn over T minus Cf over F times C. Your Kn over T in this case is what? 2n over 4. 2n over 4 minus what? Minus Cf over F times what? Times C. Times C. So what's my L0 here? What's my L0? What's my L0? Remember I said my L0 is what? Look at it here. Lower class limit or lower class boundary of the median class. When I gave you the general formula, let's go to the general formula. My L0 here, sorry, in the general formula, let's use the general formula. The L0 here, the L0 here is the lower class limit or lower class boundary of the quantile class. So my L0 will be the lower class limit or lower class boundary of the second quartile class, because we are talking about second quartile here. Second quartile class. So this will be what? This will be so this is my second quartile class. Yes, this class I picked is my second quartile class. So my 21 minus 25. 21 to 25 rather. Okay. So the lower class limit or lower class boundary. My lower class limit in this case will be what? 21. But my lower class boundary will be what? 20.5. So let me use lower class boundary because it is more accurate. But it will still give you just a 0.1 difference. You can try it out. If you use lower class limit or lower class boundary, so it will give you just a 0.1 difference. So, but according to research that I made, lower class, the class boundary is more accurate. So 20.5 plus 2 times 50. Remember that my n is the sum of all my frequencies. If I add up everything over 4 minus, now I said your CF is the cumulative frequency before the quantile class. So in this case, my CF will be the cumulative frequency before the second quartile class. Because in context here, I'm talking about the second quartile class to be precise. So my CF will be the cumulative frequency before the second quartile class. Now this is my second quartile class, right? So what's the cumulative frequency before? That is what? 23. So that will be what? Minus 23 over your F is the frequency of the quantile class. In this case, it will be frequency of the second quantile, frequency of the second quartile class. And that's what? 5 times. Now, you know that L0 here, I use lower class boundary. So my C, which is my class size or class width, will be the difference between upper class boundary or lower, difference between upper class boundary and lower class boundary of the second quartile class. Because now I'm talking about second quartile class. That is why you hear me saying second quartile class, second quartile class, second quartile class. If I'm looking for 75th percentile, it will not be 75th percentile class, 75th percentile class. So that's just the logic. We are just changing the position and the type of quartile we are talking about. Oton, that's just it. Okay, so my C in this case, because of I use class boundary, it will be the difference between upper class boundary and lower class boundary of the second quartile class. Now this is my second quartile class, my Q2. That's 21 to 25. Abi, this lower class limit, upper class limit. So the class boundary will be what? Subtract 0.5. That's 20.5 to what? 25.5. So this will be my lower class boundary, upper class boundary. So if I subtract the two, I'll get what? I will get 5. Right? So that will be equal to, sorry, my paper is very rough, 20.5 plus, this one will be what? If I do this, will be 25 minus 23 over 5 times 5. 5 cancel 5. I have 20.5 plus 25 minus 23. I have what? 2. So this is what? 22.5. And that is my second quartile class. Now, the same thing I did though, this is the same question. Let me use it to get Q1 class. Okay, permits me to get a new paper. I came prepared. So my Q1